with another episode of the Lakers Fast Break podcast. It's Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here from Lakers Fast Break. Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcasts, plus also as well Inside Sports Fantasy Football Game Source. Of course, the great folks out there at LakersBall.com. They're a little bit bummed at LakersBall.com right now, but they have some hope like we do, and you can find out why as Oxide Team 47 will tell you right there at LakersBall.com. Plus, go ahead and support him today at, of course, what he does for a living, his company, Symblaze, Symblaze with a Y.com. Also, as well, Stone Hansen has an awesome show with his good friends as well. The Upside Swings NBA Draft podcast. Go ahead and check out UpsideSwings.com for all the latest news and notes and also latest episodes of the Upside Swings NBA Draft podcast. If you missed it, there was an awesome playback that they covered the lottery. And congratulations to the Spurs, the team that I thought would win, as I called it last night, the lottery out there for us. So go ahead and check out the latest news and information on the NBA Draft with Upside Swings NBA Draft podcast. Plus also as well, the Magic Man, Sean Grice. Go ahead and check him out each and every week right there at the Magic Man in the morning. Our good friend John Mikaelian on his YouTube channel. Please support that. And our good friends Laker Tom and Jamie Sweet. They're also available right there for you at Lakerholics.com. Tell you what, everybody out there, truly appreciate you watching and listening. Thanks so much for supporting us. Please like and subscribe. Go ahead and subscribe today to get the latest news and notes on what's going on and the latest notifications on what's going on with the Lakers Fast Break podcast, and support our playback each and every time out right there for you at playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. Well, the Lakers went into game one of the conference finals looking for a heavyweight matchup against the Denver Nuggets in the Mile High City. And I will tell you what, for three quarters, it looked like the Lakers were devastated. It looked like the Lakers could do nothing right, and it looked like the Denver Nuggets could do nothing wrong. They seemed to hit everything. The Lakers could not get back on transition. They could not rebound for the life of them. And they were seriously getting outplayed for three quarters. But Darvin Ham made a couple changes here or there to the actual way that they were playing defense, which they weren't playing for three quarters, and the Lakers came storming back from a 20-point deficit to go ahead. And I'll tell you what, they almost pulled it out, a victory, coming so close, down 3 points. Unfortunately, a couple of mistakes by LeBron, and, well, that's all she wrote. But the Lakers got to give them an A for effort and coming back with a 132-126 loss. Denver Nuggets taking a 1-0 series lead. And here today to go ahead and talk about today's game, good man indeed. You got to go ahead and check out what he's doing today right there for you at Upside Swings NBA Draft Podcast. It is Stone Hansen. And Stone, glad to have you here, my friend. Looking forward to your thoughts on the game. Again, I credit a lot to the just the drive of the Lakers after what was seemingly three quarters of pain to come back to almost win the game.
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty disappointed by what I saw during those first 3.5 quarters, and then halfway through the third. Yeah, credit to him for adjusting in the game. Usually, I mean, a lot of coaches don't do it, but he ended up, adjusting and figuring out a root of a large part of the issue for us defensively, which was not having AD in the paint to be any sort of rim protector. Once he put Rui on there, it allowed AD to sag off a little bit and provide that for us. So, yeah, I mean, I think it was a matter of two things. At that point, it might have been a little too late. I think the Nuggets had just had such a massive shift of momentum in their favor that we were climbing out of a big hole at that point. But obviously, we did get opportunities to tie it, and we just couldn't capitalize, especially there at the end. We were down by 3. LeBron ended up taking it, but I think there was room for him to. You only need to go for 2, I think, at that point, and you could have probably gotten a better look. But yeah, uh, it's better to end on a note that we finished that close and lost rather than it be a blowout for the entirety of the game. I was, definitely encouraged by how I ended that final quarter and a half, but it does suck. I'm not gonna lie and sit here and say it doesn't suck that we came so close, but couldn't get the win. Um, but yeah, if as long as we can make sure we get that win in game two, I like our outlook for this series. We're just gonna have to make sure that Ham maybe adjusts a little bit quicker during the game, and that the Lakers can make sure that they maybe make better decisions down the stretch.
And that's something I want to go ahead and stress as well, Stone, that I was really surprised how the Lakers came back. They were looking devastated and defeated on every single avenue for three quarters, yet somehow they managed to go ahead and claw their way back into the game. They never gave up. It was not due to a lack of effort. It's just they were simply just not being able to go ahead and find the ways to go ahead and just play better defense, better rebounding for three quarters. They just didn't have an answer. But again, the way they came back in that fourth quarter gives me hope for game two that the Lakers have found some types of flaws in Denver's game that will hopefully serve them a lot better in game two. Also, here today, good man indeed. He is a great part of what we do here at the Lakers Fast Break anytime he's on. Michigan State man indeed. You got to go ahead and check him out every time he's here or when he's competing at Do You Know Your Lakers Trivia. It is LRob. LRob, great to have you here, my friend. Always a pleasure. I want to ask your thoughts. The first three quarters, Joe and Stone and I were just seeing this as a precursor for a Lakers blowout in the entire series. Then all of a sudden, they came back and it just seemed like, wow, they really do have a chance down the road in a 7-game series that they just keep on playing the way they did in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, the comeback was encouraging. It was baffling the way they, if Joker's going to get his, right? So
Yeah.
why, I just don't get why you want to double him and leave other guys wide open. I'm gonna have to pull a stone here and say, hey, Darvin Ham, I don't get it. I mean, he's been coaching very good the playoffs, but his decision to double Joker and then to go under screens with Dennis, those were two bad decisions. I mean, not even mentioning the fact that Lakers were winded in altitude, they weren't getting back on defense. You got to deal with all those things anyway, but to have bad strategic game plan out the gate, it just gave those guys confidence. KCP, he's a front runner. You let him get going. Brown, same thing. It's like D'Lo. Come on, man. If Brown's got it, he's going to drive, he's going to Euro, and he's going to try to get in the basket. No one on the Lakers defense until I think 2 minutes ago in the third quarter, no one stepped in front of somebody driving straight down the middle. I think Reeves finally did step in front of somebody driving KCP and took a charge. It's like, it was very, very, very disappointing game plan and lack of effort. So yeah, the comeback was nice. At no point did I think the Lakers were going to win. It was not, and it was predictable. When they got within 3, I was like, LeBron's going to shoot a 3. You stopped doing what was successful. You was going to the basket, putting pressure on them, kicking to Reeves for the 3. Now you want to be the hero and shoot the 3. Very frustrating game. It was a game that they didn't get them a chance of self to win with the game plan. And then when you finally got back in the game, you try to be a hero at the end, which, LeBron played a great game, so you can't really fault him for wanting to take that shot. But Dennis' shooter's strength is quickness. So by going under screens, you negate the reason you got him in the game, is that he can fight over screens. And so if you're going to go under it, you should have probably started Vanderbilt, because he can probably go under it and still affect the shot with his length. So I really do hope they switch up that game plan in the next game. It was great putting Rui on Joker, and maybe that's the plan. But AD's got to man up, man. You got to check him. If the Lakers want to win, you have to prove you're the best defensive player in the league by checking Joker one-on-one. You can't let the rest of those guys get off, because Joker still is going to get his 25. And he's going to get his 12, 13 rebounds. And he's still going to get assists. So Why not let him go wild and try to stop these other guys? I don't get it.
Your thoughts on this before I head over to Joe? I know Zangerstein said it in our chat. I really appreciate her and everybody else that did such a great job in our chat room at Playback about the 3-guard lineup. Once again, something that Ham has been infatuated with during the course of the season. That's one of the reasons why we were so hard on him at various points of time in the season. Started it again this time around, stayed with it maybe too long. You talked about the fact he wasn't fighting over the screens. He was going under the screens and getting burned every time on it. And the quickness was being negated by it. Your thoughts, though, on maybe starting something bigger? We thought Vando should have started in the first place to go against Murray, to give him a try first off, to try and slow him down, because he was really cooking for a while there, especially in the first 3 quarters. Your thoughts on maybe going to Vando and Rui for a little bit more for game 2?
Me? Oh yeah,
Yes,
I was expecting Vando to start off on Murray. That's what I was expecting. So I didn't like the 3-guard lineup. I mean, obviously, but even worse than the lineup was the strategy you're deploying with that lineup. So yeah, it was just bad. But I don't know about Vando. I mean, it looks like he's kind of, it looks like, I don't know, maybe the moment's too big for him. When he gets in the game, he's fumbling the ball. Lonnie Walker's fumbling the ball today. They weren't exactly ready today. But hey, it's game 1 on the road, tough environment, so you'll chalk it up. But yeah, I was not expecting the 3-guard lineup. It definitely didn't work. So
no, it didn't work this time around, indeed. Once again, the Lakers do unfortunately lose, storming back to get within 3, but they fall just short, 132 to 126. Well, that gives Denver a 1-0 lead. But it also gives us hope as Lakers fans for a better game 2. Also here today, good man indeed. You got to go ahead and check out what he's doing today. As Ox1947, right there for you at LakersBall.com. It is Joe Soro. And Joe, good to have you here, my friend. It's such a great part. Even our back and forth on Playback. I want to hear your thoughts on this. The Lakers played lousy defense for the most part in this game until it really mattered the most. Did they take some lessons that they learned that they can utilize in game 2?
I don't know. Maybe I'm interpreting it differently. I did
when
see.
You give up 132, man.
Yeah, that's fine. But I saw on several occasions there was a clip of Reeves' hand doing the Shane Battier like on Kobe on Hoarder, and he swished it. This was going on almost the entire game until the end. The Denver Nuggets came out and successfully applied the pressure they needed to apply to build a large enough lead to sustain what ended up happening in the end. There are issues that the Lakers had that you can put blame on, but this was not a night of anything other than Denver playing out of their minds. They played out of their freaking mind. I've never seen them play like this, even this year. As much as we've propped them up, even since the summer, I didn't expect them to shoot the way they shot today. Although we did say before, if Denver makes their shots, that's how they're going to win the series. And that's exactly what they did tonight. With that, Darvin Ham adjusted very well late in in the fourth quarter. And the Lakers should be commended again for not giving up and almost pulling it out. I mean, come on. This has been going on for a while. This has been going on for a good month now. The Lakers are showing everything that you want your team to show. They're competing from the tip to the buzzer. They're not giving up, even in the losses. And tonight, they were just a few shots away from miraculously pulling this out and having you get a tattoo on your ass. And
I did not say in my ass. I said a tattoo. You added that in there. No.
We were so close, right, Stone? We were so close. We would have had that.
No. I said
we would have had it.
I said the
And
Lakers can't do it,
and
but I didn't say where.
and Gerald might
You
want to
added that
argue
in there.
against it.
I've
Talk
got
over
it on
me while
tape.
I'm
I've got it
explaining
on
it, but
playback. I've got it recording.
you got it
No,
recorded. Play
no.
it back on the
It'll
show
say,
so
and it'll
everybody
say,
can see
it'll
what you
say,
said,
no, yeah, no, no,
and
no, no, no,
and then we
no,
can
no,
go
no,
go.
no, 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 no. You know what? You can kiss.
So
Exactly. Tat on his ass. There
the
you
Lakers,
go. Thank you, Blue.
the Lakers should go in. They should go in tomorrow and go. All right, we acclimated ourselves to the atmosphere. We had heard, or at least I had heard, that it takes about a half to get acclimated to the Denver altitude. And it played out like that. The Lakers weren't that bad in the third. They actually won that quarter by 4 points. So the second half was all a success for the Lakers. And it just happened to be true that they probably got their wind when they came back out. And it wasn't one of those things where Denver was kind of taking their foot off the gas. They were still making shots in the third quarter. But the Lakers were able to adjust and get used to the atmosphere. So if I'm the Lakers, I am very encouraged by the adaptation. And you go into Thursday's game knowing you take that game, Denver is going to have pressure the rest of the way.
And that's something I want to go ahead and reiterate. They were within, they actually had a chance to tie the game, Joe.
That missed and one was the one that scared me. I thought if LeBron had hit that shot, he hit that first free throw, which would have meant he would have had a 3-point play. Instead, it ended up being a 1-point series, and the Lakers would have been down 1 at that point versus 3. That was the killer for me. I know his 3-point shot, you're all right on that one. He probably shouldn't have taken it. But at the same time, if he makes it, it's a good shot. It's one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't shots. And he's made that shot before.
He had a wide open lane.
But very true. But I believe that missed layup was worse because you lost 2 points in that series. And if you're down 1, if you're down 1 with them getting the ball, they're pressing even more when they're only up 1, and they miss that next shot, and now you have to hit a 3 to tie it. You can't hit a 3 to go ahead or tie it with a 2. It changes the whole dynamics, especially when you're on the road and you're coming back from such great lengths. But I'll end this first discussion on the fact that Darvin Ham putting Rui on Jokic was huge. I think that's Denver's going to probably try to adjust from that, but I also believe that that's going to be a little hard for Denver to do that because it was 1-on-1, and AD was able to still kind of stay within range and still be able to kind of disrupt what was around him. If they're going to single cover Jokic on that set, it's going to be hard to have those guys shooting those open shots like they did. So that's what I'm going to be looking at Thursday. I'm very curious to see how that develops if Coach Malone ends up adjusting to that. It's going to be a game of adjustments, a series of adjustments, and hopefully the Lakers can adjust quick enough this time so they can take game 2.
Once again, the Lakers do fall just short in a miraculous comeback that fell, unfortunately, just a little bit short, 132-126. The Lakers are down 1-0 in the series. But again, we have hope heading into game 2 on Thursday. I want to ask you this, Stone. Again, I know you and Laker Nick, when we were talking about, as we were leaving playback, you were talking with Nick about how you guys felt as opposed to I felt. I felt energized. I felt like, you know what? The Lakers have now a realistic shot and have put that in Denver's heads that they can win on the road in Denver. they made the changes that can actually put some scares into Denver. I realize that they just hone up the defensive end a little bit, and again, as Joe says, there's the sheer basketball luck of these miraculous 3-point shots after 3-point shots that don't go in this time around. I think the Lakers have every bit that a chance to go ahead and take game 2.
Yeah, and I'm not necessarily disagreeing with the optimism for maybe game 2. It's just the frustration of having been so close, and just poor decision making ultimately from LeBron that led to us playing us out of the game. I mean, really, it was our own fault at that point when you're with all the shots Denver had hit, with every as good as they played throughout those first 3.5 quarters. Um, we were down 3 with 40 seconds left, a prime opportunity to go towards the rim, cut it down to 1, and maybe get a stop or something. And LeBron, who's been a sub 30% 3-point shooter during the playoffs, decides to take a 3. Just not smart. Not smart basketball. And I think that it doesn't discourage me from, maybe what we might be able to do in game 2. It's just that the fact of having been so close and for us to basically give it away is really the frustrating part.
I'll tell you what, though, I think there's still a lot to look forward to for game 2. LRob, let me bring you on in this one now. When it comes to what you see now with the Lakers going forward, again, I know that there's going to be an adjustment to the adjustment that Darvin Ham now has with Rui. If he brings him in, let's say he starts them. Let's say he starts Rui, and that's something we'll go ahead and ponder as far as a new starting lineup for this team. If Rui starts in place of Schroeder, or if Rui starts in place of D'Lo, who at times looked absolutely terrible on the defensive end, just to bring in more size and possibly a little bit better rebounding, because the Lakers got killed on the glass, absolutely killed us. At one time, as Laker Nick noted on our stream, it was 20-3, and overall, it ended up being, let me count it down here, 47-30. The Lakers got out rebounded. So if they bring in some size, have Rui play up on Nikola. I know that they're going to try and make adjustments on Denver, but I think they should at least give that a shot more extensively in game 2.
Yeah, I agree. You're going to lose your firepower off the bench if you do that, but it worked so well in game 1 that would be a logical decision, and you're freeing up Anthony Davis. So I like that adjustment if that's what he decides to do. I will say, I mean, yes, Denver did hit some tough shot. Michael Porter Jr., but he's going to hit those, so we might as well get used to those. A hand in his face.
That prayer, though, by Jokic at the end of the third quarter.
Jokic hit one, and then Jamal hit one. Both of them hit a prayer. But hey, Reeves banked in one. I mean, it happens. But Michael Porter Jr. with Reeves hanging on him, I mean, that's not go even. That doesn't even phase him. He's a lethal 3-point shooter, and he's going to hit. But the problem is you can't get guys like KCP open threes. You can't give, Murray is tough enough, and Murray's had so many open threes by the time, we tried to, do something to him. He was in a rhythm. But the effort just wasn't there defensively. I mean, rebounds, when you're getting out-rebounded, at one point it was 30-10 or something. When you're getting out-rebounded 3-1, the initial defense was decent, but you didn't finish the job by getting your rebound. So it was a spirited comeback, but you're giving away a game. This is playoffs, first one to 4. You gave away the first one by not bringing the energy and effort. So I'm usually a little bit more optimistic, and I still think the Lakers can take this, but I was very disappointed in the game plan and then the effort for the first 24 minutes. I mean, they had 70 points. It's 70 points at half.
Their transition defense was awful.
Defense did get a little bit better, and a lot of those were open shots. They weren't. Guys were driving down the middle. I mean, Bruce Brown drove down the middle in the third quarter and just dunked.
Yeah, the first 2.5 quarters. I mean, the reason it got to be tough shot making in the past, in the second half, but in the first half, it was just everything was wide open. It wasn't they weren't shooting out of their minds because they were uncontested shots. They
Yeah.
were just hitting everything, and because there was no contest to them. So, yeah, but in the second half, there is no matter how tight you played them, they were just hitting crazy shots, which is what they do. I mean, Jokic and MPJ are two of the best tough shot makers in the league. So you're gonna have to figure out a way to, as LRob is saying, figure out how to defend the other guys.
Joe, let me ask you this, my friend. I know that you have a little bit to go ahead and bone to pick with the announcing staff for tonight. But when it comes to overall in the game, I feel encouraged, man. I absolutely feel encouraged.
The only way you're going to beat the Lakers is if you do what you did tonight. And even though you did it, you still almost lost. So the Denver Nuggets are going to have to play 48 minutes of stand-up shooting. And it's going to come down to, are the Lakers going to quit at this point? Will they quit? And they haven't quit in any of these games the last month. Game 2 will obviously be an identifier for what's going to likely happen in this series. If Denver wins in a close game, they're going to have that confidence to, say, man, we just got to get 2 more wins and we're there.
Joe, can we shoot 55% again in Denver?
It's not that they shot 55%. It's how they made some of these shots. That Jamal Murray shot, that Jokic shot, that Hoarder shot.
Can we shoot 55% again?
Oh, do you think we'll shoot 55?
Yeah, we played great on offense.
I don't think Denver. I think what happens a lot when a team is dominating on offense, they don't play defense as hard because they're so confident that they're going to be able to score on the other end. I don't really think Denver was really. They were just kind of like, all right, we're going to hit threes. You do your twos every now and then, and we're gonna bury you, which is what they were doing. I don't know how Malone's going to adjust now that Darvin adjusted. That's what I'm going to pay attention to. And I'm going to take a guess that Darvin's going to have to make a decision on starting Rui. I'm curious to see if he's going to take Schroeder out or D'Lo. My guess is he's going to take Schroeder out, put Rui in there. And then obviously adjust accordingly to that. D'Lo has this habit of disappearing in, let's say, 3 of the 6 games. So let's hope that he's a shot maker in game 2. But even with that, his issues is he can't stay in front of his guy. That's the issue. I don't know how he's going to adjust to that, but I'm sure we'll get a chance to see that soon enough.
And the Lakers scored 124 without doing a lot in transition and without getting to the free throw line more than their opponent.
It was the kind of game that Denver needed to win. That there is no other way to look at it. I don't know what else to say other than, yeah, Lakers didn't play good defense for the first 2.5 quarters. Maybe we should have adjusted earlier. Maybe we should have come to Denver on Sunday night and adjusted to the altitude. There's 100 things you can say what they needed to do to win this game. Ultimately, all that doesn't matter. They were 3 points away from tying the game, and they had the possession. They didn't. And I'm looking at that as, if you guys are going to play this badly for the first 2.5 quarters and still be 1 possession away from tying a game at the end on the road, I'm going to assume you're going to come out game 2 and do some damage, because I'm not expecting Denver to shoot like that again. I'm not expecting it. They may, but I'm not expecting. That was just, it's one thing to shoot open shots. It's another when you have KCP hitting it off the glass from 15. I mean, it wasn't just 3-pointers. It wasn't just heaves. It was Bruce Brown running like he's AI and KCP hitting it off the glass and making it. They were making every kind of shot, and it was like Drago fighting Rocky. The Lakers were Rocky today. They just the Lakers would not go away, no matter how miraculous these shots were. And I'll end it at this: when Reeves hit that second three that got him within 3. Look at Jamal Murray. If you guys recorded the game, he looked like he was like, that right there. Remember that sigh from him, because if this happens again, that will be a reminder that you're going to have to put a stake in the Lakers. You're going to have to put a stake in them. Otherwise, you're going to find out that they're going to end up winning the series.
Once again, it's the Lakers fast break. The Lakers do unfortunately lose 132 to 126. They are down the series 1-0, but again, a great and valiant try in that fourth quarter to come back so close with a chance to tie, just short, unfortunately, for the Lakers fans out there. But again, we now have hope that the Lakers can go ahead and turn it on with a much better performance for actually a full 4 quarters for the second game. So I'm definitely looking forward to that on Thursday. Remember, it's 5:30. You could join us on playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. That is where you found on playback Stone Hansen and the guys right there for you at the Upside Swings NBA Draft Podcast, their playback feed for tonight's lottery. And before we get back to Joe, before we get back to LRob on, and I know Joe has a rant coming up that I know everybody's been waiting for and dying for. Your thoughts, though, again, I predicted that the Spurs would win just because they seem to have the thoughts. And I want to get your thoughts on this too, LRob, about, how they win all these big man lotteries. It did, I don't think it's an accident, but your thoughts though on the Spurs winning the lottery. I was rooting actually for Charlotte because they absolutely cannot do anything right at that organization, and having something go their way once would have been nice to see. But your thoughts on the Spurs winning the lottery?
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Stone.
I was just gonna say that even though I'm a Lakers fan, obviously we didn't have any chance at getting Wembanyama, so I was pretty happy that he went to the Spurs because of all the teams in that sort of bottom area, I think the Spurs are the best developmental context for him. And just as basketball fans, I think we're going to see the best version of Wembanyama that we can in comparison to any other team that he could have gone to in that sort of realistic range. So I was pretty happy that he ended up on the Spurs. I think they're going to use him well. He really is. I've watched a lot of basketball. He's definitely up there as I've said generational only for Luka prior to him, but I would put that label on Wembanyama as well. And I'm just really excited to see him in the league. I think he's going to be just an awesome player and someone that regardless of what team you root for, I think everyone's going to just enjoy watching him play basketball.
I agree with you on that. All right, he's here. He's here indeed. MagicMan, I'm going to go ahead and hit LRob, and I'll get it right back to you, my friend, to give you plenty of time to go ahead and rant yourself. Looking good with the jersey on. We almost pulled it out tonight. Before we go ahead and do that, though, LRob, I want to ask you this: your thoughts on the lottery with obviously the history that they have, winning the lottery twice before and having big guys that are part of the Hall of Fame. This looks like it's going to be the same kind of direct line for San Antonio.
Yeah. I've ever since they tanked to get Duncan, they said David Robinson for about, I don't know, he had some little minor injury that he was supposed to be out for a week in early February and never came back. So, they were the Lakers rivals for a good part of, everyone saying he's that guy. He's a once in a generation type player. I'll be excited to see him as a Pistons season ticket holder. I was hoping, why did the Pistons have to get number 1 when Cade Cunningham was the best guy on the board? I mean,
however happy Ben Wallace was then, he was so mad today, was he not, when he got number 4?
Oh yeah, that was not the plan. They fell all the way to number 5.
He was steaming.
But yeah, that was predictable. San Antonio, you know what? They got David Robinson, they got Duncan, and now they got Wemby. So he is going to be awesome. I didn't want him to come in the West though. I just want to get him far away as possible from the Lakers. Send him to Charlotte, please. I would have liked to see him and Melo. That would have been pretty exciting.
Absolutely, though. He is going to San Antonio. It looks like it's going to be a long career for him. Hopefully, he stays healthy. Pop is going to have himself a good one. We talked a little bit about that on playback about the future of the Spurs. Maybe Bob Myers goes there, and if he leaves Golden State, so we'll see what happens. But also here today, good man indeed. He's shaking his head, but you got to go ahead and give the Lakers a really big A for effort. Almost came back for the victory. Good man indeed. Clean looking hair and aerodynamic
Mhm.
and looking sharp with the Lakers jersey. It is the guy that just left accidentally. Looks like his yeah, Susan. I was giving him a nice intro too. Or there you go. That's how bad it was. That's how bad it was for the Lakers today, right there for you. But a good man indeed. He's the madman from Canada. You just can't get out of Toronto traffic. It is the Magic Man, the host of Magic Man in the Morning, Sean Grice. Sean, good to have you here, my friend. Always a great part and most beloved part of this program. And no, don't listen to Joe. I was not going to get a tattoo on my butt. I said a Lakers tattoo. I did not say where. And that is officially, no, I did not say my face or my butt. So be that as it may, and I did read your email about the underwear thing. Your thoughts, though, on today's game. What can you take out of, seriously, though, what can you take out of today's game? Absolutely terrible 3 quarters, but obviously something to look forward to for game 2 after the way they played in that fourth and final tilt.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that simple. I don't have anything else to add. It's just that fourth quarter they fought back pretty hard, but I mean, Gerald, I gotta be honest. I'm not overly concerned, honestly.
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
good.
it was a bad effort for 3 quarters. I'll admit that, but I mean, this is still a long series, and I kind of knew, and people should have kind of had common sense here that this was probably going to be a business trip, and the best you can hope for is 1-1 because Denver's in their own barn, and we knew game 1 would be a test. So I commend the effort in the fourth. And by the way, I walked into my home in the dark and had to change in the dark, and I just happened to pick this jersey out in the dark, Gerald. So I would say that's a very good omen for the Lakers. Anyway, so
Now let's
let's move
hope,
on.
let's hope in game 2 Denver shoots like they're in the dark.
Yes, I hope they do, or at least half the team, because that would
Okay.
bode well for us.
How about if Jokic and Murray plays like that?
Yeah, I'm hoping at least one of them plays like that, preferably both. But they're both world-class players. Can't expect both of them to lay an egg. But I will say this, Gerald, who else tanked in 1997?
Oh, I thought you were going to say who else tanked this year, and I would have said
No,
Dallas, and it sure paid off for
so
them.
we're going back to Tim Duncan era. Who else
Boston.
tanked to that year, Gerald?
Boston, as
That's
what
right.
LRob, yeah.
And do you remember who Boston ended up with?
Was that the bias? No, that was too late. I forget. Go ahead, hit me up, man.
So I believe they drafted Van Horn and then traded him.
Oh, that's right. To the to New Jersey.
Yeah. So let
Look
me
how
ask,
that worked out.
yeah. So I would have rather the Spurs got Duncan than Boston. And it just so happens that now Wemby ends up in San Antonio. We all thought this was going to happen, Gerald. I mean, it was a coin flip, right? You either thought it's probably going to be San Antonio, but Houston is right there too. They have an historical record with great big man as well. Charlotte ends up snake bitten again, Gerald. This is a franchise that still can't get the number 1 pick.
Yep. That's what we were saying.
Yeah. So I mean, and not that it matters anymore, but they're also, I believe, one of only 2 or 3 teams who haven't even won their division, and here they come up like short again. It just seems that for whatever reason, it doesn't matter who owns that team. I'm sure Mike is gonna be happy when that's over. I don't think it matters who owns the Clippers, who owns the Hornets, who owns the Cleveland Browns. They're just poorly run franchises that just keep plugging away and hiring. It seems like quality people, but the quality people just don't end up doing quality work in those organizations.
Once again, great job right there for you from MagicMan Sean Grice. Once again, the Lakers unfortunately do lose 131 to 126. I want to go ahead and hit it back up to Joe. There were a couple issues that you had with the announcing. So before we head on out, and I know we're still going to be here for a few minutes longer, and I want to hear it from LRob and Stone and Sean once again. But before we head on out, I wanted to give you plenty of time to tell us exactly your thoughts on the horrible announcing. I mean, I guess the best way to put it was Stone Hansen saying, I don't listen to him, haven't listened to him in a year. I turned down the volume. I want to just hear the guys from the Lakers Fast Break. So your thoughts on how bad the announcing was tonight?
Well, quick correction before I get into the rant. The Boston Celtics fell to 3 and drafted Chauncey Billups.
Ah, there you go.
Only to trade him before the end of the year.
Yeah, because he was floundering, and then and I saw his career revive.
Keith Van Horn went to New Jersey. Valiant player, but obviously,
thank you. Good correction, Joe.
In no way. I remember that draft very, very well. Jeff Van Gundy. I used to like Jeff Van Gundy. I used to like Mark Jackson. And much like I've discussed about sports casters like Colin Cowherd and Jim Rome, I know that the market will dictate whether those guys stay on air. Obviously, there's an audience there. That's why they still get paid to do it. But I believe it's the analogy that I use is I wish people did more what Quentin Tarantino did or does, which is he's going to be making his 10th movie. He doesn't make movies nonstop and allow himself to get into any kind of mediocrity. And I believe that a sportscaster has a shelf life, not as quickly as an athlete, but in terms of their delivery, their energy, their ability to adapt to the current culture. Jeff Van Gundy used to have principles that were old-fashioned, fundamental type things, right? So there was something endearing there. He is an absolute, and in the last 5 years, he has sold out those values to be with it. That's the only term I can think of at the moment that would be G-rated. And once in a while, he'll try to get back to who he was, but he just looks stupid. And all I hear is him ranting about how everything needs to change and everything needs to do this and everything needs to do that because he doesn't like it. And I'm just like, dude, can you just color the game and shut the F up about every damn thing you don't like? The job of the color guy is to explain what's going on in the damn game, to put color on it, right? While Mike Breen, while Marv Albert, while Brian Anderson, whoever the hell is doing the play-by-play, they're telling you what's going on in the game. Guys like Jeff Van Gundy are supposed to color and say, guys, this is what's going on in this possession. Right now, Rui is on Jokic, and they're not doubling on Jokic. And this is why. Why? Because you're the damn coach for how many years? You took a team to the finals. You have the intelligence of this stuff, okay? You can't sit there and say and be about it all of a sudden and then tell at the same time later, oh, they should change this. It's like, dude, we get with it. If you're thinking you're with it, you're not. You're flip-flopping, and I don't like flip-floppers. I don't like it. And Mark Jackson used to be a guy I liked too, but he's gotten bad. And this thing with the voting thing has, they have to take away his vote. That is abhorrent. If you needed any proof, Jokic had a 50, practically a, I don't know, he had one of the biggest triple doubles you'll see in a game like this. Like, how do you not put that guy in the MVP discussion as a voter? Like, you're one of 100 people. Like, So I'm just sick of these guys, and we've been talking about this, the sports guys, the sports culture already. It is so bad. The people, who was that lady? Her name is McNutt. I was already making fun of the name before I even knew who she was. She did an interview, and I go, does anyone get hired that has an actual talent to do the job? Or are you guys just thinking everything has got to be like Barkley and Shaq? Two guys who don't even watch the games, who just blabber all day, make fun of each other, and everyone's like, Shaq and Barkley, they just say it how it is. Yeah, anyone can say it how it is. Anyone. I can, Gerald can, Sean can, everyone can. You know what? Why is it okay when they do it? Why? Why? Because it's Charles Barkley and Shaq? Well, you know what? It only just shows me that that's the quality that's there now. I used to watch SportsCenter every day. I mean, every day after school. Dan Patrick, Keith Olbermann. I mean, the freaking Stu Scott, the freaking creme de la creme. Now what? Who are they hiring now? Hiring people that have no idea what basketball is, football, whatever it is that they're talking about. And it's just, I thank God for playback, because at some point it becomes, I don't like listening to it on mute. I like to feel the crowd. It's an enjoyable thing. What the NBA and NFL and these sports things need to do now, I know that when I used to have a sidelight growing up, they used to have a feed where you can hear the crowd with no announcing. I would love a choice. I would pay an extra $20, $30 a month if they could just get rid of these a-holes and just let me hear the crowd. That's it. Give me that choice. You know, you're going to charge me $114 a month for really only 4 channels that I watch. Can I have I'll pay another $20 a month. Can you put one without, choice, like Adam Silver? You guys keep talking about improving the league and all that. How about this? I don't want to hear your announcers anymore. Go to hell. Go eat. You know what? I don't want to deal with it anymore. It's hard to pay attention to the game when you got this idiot who's constantly, nonstop. They got to change this when they're flopping and when they're doing this. Yet this is the guy that flopped Alonzo Mourning's leg in a fight. The irony in that is hilarious. You guys wanted to rant? I couldn't rant on my Lakers. I haven't been able to rant on them for 3 months.
Yeah, they don't deserve a rant.
They don't deserve any rants.
Hey, Joe.
But we find ways, right? This is my rant on this issue. And I think Stone agrees with me. He hasn't listened to anybody in how many years? So it's not just me, guys. It's not just me ranting because I feel weird. No, it's a problem. It's a problem.
No, I've been listening to them in over a decade.
Yeah, exactly. So even Sean doesn't listen. It's a problem. It's a problem. Your product sucks. Make it better. You got a good play-by-play guy. The guy's got good catchphrases. He's got a good tenor to his voice. He can react to good things. How about putting somebody? And that's the problem. Is these guys are all former players. That's what makes it worse. Is these guys are former coaches and former players, and they should be talking about the game, not about how they need to stop doing 50 things and change the whole thing. Like, dude, just pay attention to the game you're announcing. Stop with this change everything. It's getting nauseating at this point.
Stone, John says,
Sweating
give him
like a
Jersey
dog out
Mike
here.
sub, by the way.
I no longer support them, but if you guys
What?
want to go yourselves.
Jersey Mike's rules, man.
No, I just don't go to the ones locally that I go to.
Oh,
'cause
that's right. We talked about that.
I don't
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
owners.
Yeah, you told me about that. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. You got clearance with me on that. All
Wait,
right.
what happened?
I don't like
you
my
got-
old owner, so I
We talked
refuse
about
to
this
give
on
him
Who
Playback.
likes any owner? Seriously. For those of you who hate
We don't
your
like
job,
you.
Your
For
employees
those of
seem
you
to
who
like
hate your
you.
job, start your own gig, man. This is 2023, man.
Your
You
employees
don't have to
seem
work
to
for
like
anyone.
you.
You don't
Yeah,
have to
exactly.
work for anyone. Oh man, I tried, guys. I tried to be the corporate guy. I try to, I call it
Even.
selling out, right? That's what I call it now. At the time, I didn't know it that way. I tried selling out. I tried being a part of the corporate shtick. Middle management is the worst thing for a business. Always know this. Middle management is a detriment to progress. If you don't believe me, go follow what Elon Musk did when he bought Twitter. That's all I'm going to say. He got rid of everyone in the middle. Everyone. And the thing still ran well. Actually better. Not supporting his politics. I'm not supporting his way of life. I'm not supporting anything. Just look at the stats of what he did. If that's something you guys are into. When you're in the business world, your mind is always looking at advantages and learning and crap like that. That's sorry. I know I'm a little boring life for some people, but it is what it is. But the thing is, if you want financial freedom and freedom in general, be your own boss. Deal with the payroll tax. Deal with the workers' comp if you have to. It's a minor thing. It's a little minor thing. But, man, you get to get up when you want, go to sleep when you want. You want to work 18 hours or 18 minutes. It's your choice.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
Do you remember who Keith Van Horn was traded for?
I don't remember him being traded draft night.
Tim Thomas. And I'd argue he had a better career than Keith Van Horn.
I don't know if I agree with that one.
All right. That's fine.
I think Keith Van Horn had a good run from 97 to 02.
You know, Tim Thomas was almost a Laker.
Yes, and Tim Thomas and Kobe were the 1 and 2 in America in 1996. Tim Thomas was very, very good.
That trade was surprising. Hold on, that trade was surprising at the time because Philly traded Keith Van Horn, right, to New Jersey, and New Jersey traded Tim Thomas to them, and then they completely got rid of him.
I know.
We had the perfect power forward for AI. I digress.
We went from announcers.
Well, yeah, I mean that
ownership
like
of Sin Blades.
Here.
I didn't say anything on ownership of Sin Blades. I said.
I didn't say about anything about Cat doing.
We're a lifestyle channel. We're a
that?
lifestyle channel here. We try to help our people here too. We're not just talking. I mean, we talk Lakers, obviously. We talk sports, but I was just reiterating the issue that Stone was having, and the reason why he's having those issues is when you depend on someone else that's not family. Typically, I know some family members suck. I'm just using the rule. I know there are exceptions, but when you can't depend on family and very, very, very close friends, it's a crap show. It's a crap show again. We're here to benefit.
Tim Thomas.
Tim Thomas was
three to break our heart in Game 6 down in Phoenix.
That was a killer.
Game 5.
That was a killer.
Game 5, Game 6.
Yes, it was Game 6, and Kwame Brown
spoiled Kobe's 50-point game, right?
Kwame Brown standing there with his in his hand.
Now
not
we're really
doing
going
anything.
downhill when we go Kwame Brown.
Oh God. Well, thank God for Kwame Brown, because if it wasn't for Kwame Brown,
we would have got Pau Gasol. Yes, I know, Sean. As we have learned on Lakers History 101.
All right. Well, you know what, Gerald? We need definitely more out of D'Angelo Russell in Game 2.
And that's something I'll hit you up with in a second. I want to go ahead and hit you up on that in a second, but I want to get LRob into this, my friend, because I know he's been very patient, and I want to ask him this. One of the things that had been talked about yesterday was about Tristan Kardashian Thompson being an option for the Lakers, and we kind of just like poo-pooed on that one, and I would still continue to poo-poo on that one. Mo Bamba, I know he did see a specialist on Monday, was flown to Denver. He is still listed as out as of this point in time, but somehow by the time this as long as this goes on, he may come back at a point. Do you think he's a viable individual that can come off the bench and give you anything in regards to getting at least 5 fouls on Jokic or something like that?
No.
I know this answer already, but
we've asked this question already.
No court awareness. No.
He hasn't played in 2 years.
Basketball skills. Yes, he can hit some threes if you bring him in.
He can't hit anything. He's done. He's Udonis Haslam right now. Maybe worse.
Bamba.
No, Bamba has played this year.
Yeah, Bamba can hit some threes.
Bamba's leg is. I'm not. This is a joke. His ankle needs to be amputated. I don't know what the hell happened. It's like Chris Mim all over again. He had one sprained ankle and his ankle's bursting into nothingness. Like, what happened?
Chris Mim. Yeah, Mo Bamba, I haven't seen anything out of him in defensively to encourage me. Actually, I would rather play Tristan Thompson
Yeah, Bamba is
for
the
defense
GOAT,
than I
John.
would
That's
Mo
good.
Bamba. He at least knows what to do.
without the periods, that's just a GOAT. That legit, like literally.
I agree with you, Scar to Blue. I mean,
Sorry, LRob, I didn't mean to interrupt you again. Sorry.
you know what? When I'm
All
asking,
good. All
if
good.
the Lakers get into foul trouble, you know, and I'm asking for Wendy and Gabriel over those two guys, you know, we're in trouble if that's the case. So I'm hoping that again that the combination of LeBron James, Rui Hashimura, and then a little bit of AD, not as much AD on straight up on Jokic. Hopefully we can go ahead. We found a success, Magic Man, in that fourth quarter. And before I get it over to Stone, we found some success. D'Angelo was not part of that success in the fourth quarter. We all saw how bad he was. Do you think he can rebound and actually give us something that he can contribute positively on both ends of the floor? I'm not sure on the defensive end, but at least enough offense to keep him out there.
Well,
just really.
Oh,
Go ahead,
I was
Stone.
gonna get.
No. He wanted to go ahead, Stone.
Okay.
Sorry, I was just gonna say that I think it really just depends night to night. There's no consistent answer of whether D'Lo's going to hit his shots or not, which is kind of scary, but it's something we're going to have to live by and sort of just go with, whether it's him or if Lonnie has it going, go with him, or, you know, play up with bigger defense and maybe go with Braun, Vando, Rui in AD lineups if you have to. But I don't think D'Lo is somebody that has to play in the fourth quarter if his shots aren't going in.
Your thoughts, Sean? Again, because D'Lo is an adventure, whether it's game by game or it's even within quarter by quarter. Sometimes you're not even sure what D'Lo is going to give you from play to play, quarter to quarter, or game to game.
Oh, that's very spot on, very accurate for the kind of player he is. I will say this though, if he was able to back down Steph Curry and feel confident enough to hit 18-footer turnarounds on him, I don't know why he wouldn't feel the same confidence doing it if he was up against Jamal Murray or Bruce Brown. Now, Brown's a better defender than Murray, a little longer than him, but D'Lo has size on both of those guys. And, I'm surprised, he's not recognizing that, or is, like you said, Gerald, maybe, and Stone's brought this up, his processing skills are maybe, like quarter of a second, third of a second, maybe behind most elite facilitators and shot makers. He's capable of doing both at a high level. Like Stone has said, it's a processing issue with him most of the time. So Gerald, they just got to do a better job of like. So what's concerning, right, is that Denver is a really bad transition defensive team, and they're a really bad screen defensive team, and the Lakers didn't do much of either tonight until the fourth quarter.
Seems like we found a lot of weaknesses, Sean, that in the fourth quarter that we weren't. Seems like we figured a lot of things out that hopefully we can take to the next game.
I agree. You outscored them 34-26. So you figured something out there. I just wish the start would have been a little bit better. But like I said, Gerald, we had talked about game one. Like we all kind of anticipated those first 10 minutes would have been tough. And, you started off down 9 points in the hole, right? It was 18-9, and then Darvin called the timeout.
Well, there you go, my friend. But the Lakers, unfortunately, did just not have enough tonight. 131-126. They fall to the Denver Nuggets, who are down. Lakers are 1-0 in the series. But before we leave, I want to go ahead and hit every one of you, starting with you, LRob. What would be the 5 players you want starting that game in game 2? So give me your thoughts on your starting 5 right out there for you. Well, who would you start in game 2, my friend?
Winyan,
seriously, my friend.
I would just put Rui in and sub out Schroeder. So you got D'Lo, Reeves, Rui, LeBron, and AD. The challenge though is always going. So you stick D'Lo on. I mean, D'Lo has to go on KCP, and then you put Reeves on Murray.
I would make sure Vando plays a lot more on Murray as well. That's
Oh yeah. I mean, Vando's got to stay in the rotation. Give him his heavy minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like Dennis on him to pressure him, make him work, bringing the ball up the court, and but maybe Dennis can slow up Brown so he won't have 20 points or whatever if he had tonight. So
yeah, I'll tell you what,
you got to keep D'Lo in the starting lineup just because I don't know what he can give you off the bench, and for every bad game he's going to have a good game. So next game, he just got to give him more effort on defense. I'm not worried about his shot making. His shot making is going to come some games. He's going to make shots. Some games he's going to miss shots. But
he was a minus 25.
Yeah, just don't let guys just drive you straight to the basket, man. Come on.
I mean, he's out there taking shots after the game, according to reports. That doesn't really help us when you're not playing good defense at all. So
yeah,
minus
how about
25.
guard somebody after the game. Have somebody bring you up the court and you work on defending. That would be more impressive. I'll be more impressed than I am with him getting up all these shots after the game.
I don't know. Okay, never mind, Joe. But yeah, I know you're going to probably hopefully give me a straight answer in that when we go to you. But Stone, you first, my friend. Who would you start?
I want to give you.
That's you usually do, unfortunately, whether I like it or not. Stone, go ahead. You're starting 5 for game 2.
Who I would do, or who I think?
Yeah, who would you? If you ever coach Ham,
I would go big. I'd start Reeves, Braun, Rui, Vando, and ED. I would try and counter their bigness.
Okay. There you go. Sean, your thoughts on the starting 5, my friend?
I like that bigness. It's pretty good, Stone.
If the Lakers win with bigness, I'll go ahead and put that in the main description.
You better.
Put that in your tattoo.
The only issue with that lineup is no shootingness.
That will not be on my butt.
And no ball controllingness.
Yes. Wowness. Okay, but Sean, you like that same lineup as well?
That's a nice lineup, actually. That's you're going big there. I like that. I would go. Schroeder, D'Lo, Reeves, Braun, AD.
All right, Mr. Joe, your turn now, my friend. Please.
You want to hear it live?
Yeah.
No, it's okay. Actually, if Stone's lineup can play stout defense for, if they can play stout defense for 48 minutes, for a full game, AD and LeBron would have to dominate on offense for that lineup to work. I mean, I'm talking AD's dropping 40 and LeBron is at 35 for that to work, because that lineup will at least be into the Denver lineup, and they're gonna have an issue with getting free and having good spacing and open shots. So I would say my instincts are saying AD, LeBron, Rui, Reeves, and I still think that Darvin's going to start D'Lo. I don't think he's going to take him out of the starting lineup. So it's going to be Russell, Reeves, Rui, AD, and LeBron. I believe that 100% will be the starting lineup, and they're going to try to get back to what they did in the fourth quarter by playing Jokic with a guy that can at least body him up a little bit and hold his ground in Rui.
But that way, you saw as he was bodying him up, it was to the point where it was slow enough where at least AD could come over and help. And that's Correct. Exactly what you want.
So the advantage of Jokic, see, Jokic, because he is slow, he is methodical, but he is slow. you can still use that to your advantage. So if you're going to play slow, you saw a few times where AD was blocking shots because he's not going to do that dream shake anywhere in any way, right?
40 points, 10 rebounds, 2 block shots.
Most of his damage was in that first quarter. He had 12 rebounds in that first quarter.
Yep.
But after that, he only had 9. So I'm not saying that's bad either, but it just that first quarter they just came out and Lakers just they felt like they were stuck to the wall to the floor. They couldn't move, but they slowly got acclimated, I think, to the altitude, and they finally started coming back. And now I think they got a nice little feel. I'd say if I have to use an analogy, I think maybe they can do a little Floyd Mayweather Jr. right now. Okay, Floyd would lose 2 of the first 3 rounds sometimes to kind of get a feel for it. Then after that, he starts basically making you miss every time, and it's smack you in the face a few times, just enough to win the rounds. That's what we want the Lakers to do in Game 2. Lakers win Game 2, pressure's all on Denver to get back to LA and steal 1, and role players don't play as well on the road, and Denver doesn't play as well on the road either.
Once again, it's the Lakers fast break. The Lakers do just fall short with a 131-126 loss. Truly appreciate everyone being here. Best Lakers chat room that's out there is the Lakers fast break. I know MagicMan has got some stuff in the works. I know he always does. He's a great part of the Lakers fast break. Also, Stone Hansen, Upside Swings NBA Draft Podcast. Go ahead and check it out. You guys working on some stuff now that the lottery is finished, my friend?
Oh yes. We are doing a lot. We just put out a new podcast today on 4 new names. You could check that out. We obviously have our website going with workout trackers. We're watching the combine this week.
Taking place right now.
Taking place right now. It's not televised today, but tomorrow and in the following day it will be. Unfortunately, we cannot stream it because of certain streaming rights with playback, but we'll definitely be watching, and we'll give our thoughts on that. We have, at least 2 podcasts coming out with player deep dives, and then we're doing a 30 for 30 series on teams starting up this week. So all in all, in this final 40-ish so days left for the draft, 30 maybe now, we'll be putting out probably close to 50 podcasts. So be on the lookout. Tons of content coming out. The website, upsideswings.com, if you want to check out all of our podcasts and everything out there. And if you want to stay up to date, because I'm doing other stuff, especially with the Lakers right now, including this, you can check me out at report_court on Twitter.
My gosh, and I thought I was busy with podcasts. You guys are churning them out. That's quite a bit, my friend. That's quite a bit. But looking forward to getting all that at UpsideSwings.com and Upside Swings NBA podcast. The NBA draft, best place to go for all the news and notes there. Upside Swings NBA draft podcast. Joe, what are they talking about on Lakers ball before we head it out? Is there a lot of positivity coming from there?
It's what could have been. A lot of that tone. Mm-hmm. And I feel I might feel that a little bit tonight when things settle down a little bit. It's starting to kind of sink in.
I'm actually positive. I
am positive, but it's like, God, if you that damn and one should have freaking gotten LeBron. You're talking about the 3 he missed. It was that damn and one that would have brought us to 1 that really, really hurt me in that last sequence. I was just like, God, if you're down by 1 and then they're bringing the ball up, they're tight at that point. Up 3, they know even if they miss, you still need a 3 to tie it, and a 2 is still giving them the lead. It's that 1, man. That 1 would have changed, I think, enough to where the Lakers might have been able to turn the corner. But we've had some losses in the playoffs, and I've said it before in both series. You win Game 2, you don't remember Game 1, because then at that point, all that's going to matter is win your home games and get to the finals. If the Lakers don't win on Thursday, the series never really starts until the road team loses. But the Lakers are going to have to obviously win 3 and 4 to tie it. Then at that point, the series gets pretty interesting. How that's going to go is going to be a toss-up. I don't know. I'll know more on Thursday.
Sean, before you hit up LRob one last time, I want to ask you this. What you got planned for everybody this week with your awesome shows, juice snack packs, and of course, Magic Man in the morning?
Yes, we've. I'm trying to get somebody locked in for Friday, Gerald, but so far it's been all quiet on the Western Front.
You
I don't
always
know what
got
is.
me. You can always wake my old butt up.
Yeah, I know. I
The
can't.
one
Yeah, he
that
knows
has no
all,
tattoo
and you know
on it.
Gerald knows a lot about butts tonight.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Go ahead, Sean.
Done with your stand-up routine, Soro?
No,
Yeah, stick to sin blades.
I'm never done, buddy. Never. I'm like Jason Voorhees.
Where's
Like,
your
without
hockey
the-
mask?
Without the mask.
You're probably as ugly as him too. But go ahead, Sean.
Gerald, I think I got a snack coming up maybe in the next few hours. I was thinking of throwing out a snack then. So
Okay.
there's snacks coming up. If not in a few, there'll definitely be one in the morning. Gerald, I'm feeling pretty good. Losing sucks. Nobody wants to lose. If you lose, you're out of the family, right? That's what Vince Lombardi said.
Something like that. Yes.
Yeah. I'm still feeling pretty good about this business trip. I think they got to just lock in more defensively. I mean, as good as her offense is when it's chugging along, you can't give up 132 points again. That's not a recipe for a Lakers victory. We hang our hat on defense, so I expect some adjustments to be made. Like you said, Gerald, there was some that they dug and got some diamonds there in the fourth quarter. We also have to understand, I'm sure Michael Malone and his staff will be looking at that fourth quarter and adjusting to the Lakers adjustment. So we're going to just see how this chess match keeps unfolding.
We'll see what happens, Deeb. But check out Magic Man whenever he puts out one of the great shows. And like I said, Friday morning, worst comes to worst, you can always wake me up to go ahead and do Magic Man in the morning, indeed. But before we head on out, LRob, great to have you here as always, my friend. You were never on here enough. We always love having you aboard. Any last thoughts on what you're looking forward to game 2 before we head on out, my friend?
I'm still confident the Lakers can take them. I mean, we're looking at, at some point you got to win in Denver. So we got another shot in game 2. For some reason, I'm thinking game 5 may be a better shot now. But I'm very interested to see what happens in game 2. Joker's going to do his thing though. So if we're counting on him playing a bad game, I don't see it. So you got to beat him.
I wish it's something if AD plays like that again and doesn't have to worry about guarding Jokic, a predominant amount of time. If somehow the Lakers could get away with playing Rui or LeBron on him or whoever on him and get away with it and can slow down Murray, you never know. The Lakers can make up for that 5-point loss with a 5-point or larger win on Thursday. And that's what I'm looking forward indeed. So hopefully everyone will be around for our awesome shows. If you have not clicked on Joe's face in the lower corner, the right-hand corner, that one right there for you, please go ahead and do so to get the latest notifications on when we go live on the air each and every time out. Truly appreciate you doing so. Alex says, I expect a friendly whistle for the Lakers. Remember, NBA Mafia wants Lakers and Celtics in the LJ in the finals. So we'll see if that's the case. I know that Jimmy F. and Butler will probably have something to say about that as well come tomorrow. So we'll definitely find out. But it is the Lakers Fast Break. We truly appreciate you joining us. Looking forward to all the action this week, a better game 2, and obviously more shows from all of us here. So looking forward to that. Thank you again to everybody out there. Over 700 episodes, over 100,000 views, over 100,000 downloads. Truly appreciate it. We were one of the top 100 basketball shows in America over the weekend, so we cannot thank you enough for doing that. So it's all because of you and all because of what we do here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast. We'll get them in game 2. We'll get them in game 2. Go Lakers.